back again with another review. This is a prototype deck for the Pipmen playing cards, which is going to launch on Kickstarter this Tuesday, January the 12th, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you check it out on Kickstarter. This is from Elephant Playing Cards, and I want to thank them for sending it to me to review, and I hope to continue with our little partnership of sorts, I guess, if you will, where they send me decks and I review them. They previously did, shoot, I forget what it was called. Another deck late last year. I forget what it's called though. But it was a black deck with a lot of color and the raised embossing, glossed embossing on the cards themselves. I did a review on the prototype of that as well. I just don't remember what it was called right now. I apologize. But anyways, so let's take a look at this. There's also, I believe, going to be a red edition to this. Oh, it was the Prism playing cards. Prism Night playing cards. That's the one it was. They're still planning the day version as well. But this is the black edition of the Pipmen. The red edition also planned, probably a stretch goal. The front of the box says Pipmen Black Edition. And you see a bunch of little men, the Pipmen. Kind of like stickmen, except the Pipmen. And they're doing all sorts of stuff. They're all sorts of jobs. They're painting, they're washing, they're doing bricklaying, framing, and measuring, and surveying, and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting space. It looks like it's in the process of being constructed, as you can see the framework, and then the paneling is on, and then they're painting it, and it's pretty cool. Side, you see a bunch of figures, a bunch of Pipmen. There might be women in there too, I'm not sure. They're just all sorts of different types of careers and whatnot that you see in there. Same on the other side, different people. You see more on the top, they're all over the place. The Pipmen Invasion. The bottom says EPC, Elephant Playing Cards. Prototype with the logo. And in the back, you see the back design, which is, again, more people. Reminds me a little bit of the Bicycle Stickman deck, except that it's not. It does not have a. What's it call it? When you riffle through them, you're not going to see any kind of, film, the cartoon thing. Animation, that's it. I don't know what I'm talking about today. Anyways, you see all sorts of figures on the back, and they kind of swirl into the center. Some guys dancing in the middle. Pretty cool. Let's look at the cards. There's no seal on this. This is a prototype. It's not 100% complete, and there may be some changes. So you get the logo on the flap. A couple of figures on the little flap. Then you get to the cards. So here's the back design. Borderless. It is mirror image. Just a whole bunch of figures doing all sorts of activities. So the one Joker has got a red Pipman in the corner. And here you see a guy, he's been fired from a cannon, and apparently he's smashed into some glass. It reminds me of a bird hitting the window because he doesn't see the glass. And kind of reminds me of that. But pretty cool. And then the other one has got the black Pipman in the corners, and it's some kind of a superhero or something. He's got a cape. He's also wearing a necklace, and he's got a purse, or is it a merce? And you see down here somebody is spray painting him. Then you get the Ace of Spades. It's just like what we saw in the front of the tuck case. Pretty cool. The Ace of Hearts is just a bunch of hearts, and there's some people hanging from the hearts down here. Again, pretty interesting. And then the Ace of Clubs is being deconstructed, it looks like, mined. And the Ace of Diamonds is, I'm guessing it's blood. And it looks like the truck is filling up this tank, and the people are getting water or blood or whatever it is from there. Probably water, but it looks like blood. So those are the aces. The court cards, they feature all sorts of Pitmen. And this one is a tennis player and a football player. They maximized how many people they could get by changing it from one side to the other. Good idea. This one you get a queen and an athlete. There is Pipmen. And here we get that is some kind of a astronomer. Obviously he's somebody famous. I just can't put the name to the face, but you can see the facial hair. And then there's this, which is from Leonardo, I guess. And here we get a robot and a different type of a robot. Pretty interesting. And here we get paparazzi and the king. He's actually got he's got a king's mask on his face. That's pretty funny. It looks like he's holding a diamond. He's not committing suicide, though, not the Suicide King. And here we got knight and some other kind of a, looks like the arrow. It's the green arrow or the black arrow. And here you got, looks like a bride and a groom. And same on the other side, just a different pose. That's pretty cool. And then here we got another king of some sort and a gangster. And here we got the guy being attacked by a dog. He's freaked out. And a guy going to shoot birds. And finally we got the guy's been arrested. It says Pipman, too cool for school on his little mugshot there. And the other one is it's the cop who arrested him, of course. Then we get to the court cards. There's a couple of court cards here. They got nothing on it because they just weren't complete. Actually, there was supposed to be some cards like these court cards that were prototypes for a different deck, but he had them removed last minute, so there's nothing on these two court cards. But that's not how they will be in a completed version. So then you get into the number cards, all sorts of pitmen doing day-to-day activities. Here's some mining. You even see bones down there. It's a dinosaur. And the tree and the roots and everything. Just really well thought out. They're basically a transformational deck. Here you see cops going after bad guys and police tape and all sorts of stuff. Bird watching or something. There's your superhero. Climbing. A whole bunch of trees. And actually you see they got kind of a cycle as well. It's just kind of like spring, I don't know, summer, spring, and then kind of like fall and just dead. It's basically a tree. It's live, dying, not so healthy, I guess, and then it's dead, falling over. We got string puppets. We got something leaking onto the ground, being mopped up. Paint or a chemical. A blackboard. Some guy writing all sorts of stuff. That's a lot of work to design this and put all that information in there. Just all sorts of stuff here. Something's being blown up. Hot air balloons and clouds. It's all sorts of cool stuff. I'll just quickly try to go through the rest. I'll try to zip my lip. Gardener. Huh. It's a very fun deck, as you can see. All sorts of illustration. A lot of effort went into it. And I think it's pretty awesome. And I'll definitely be picking one up because obviously this one is incomplete. And I want the completed one. This is a mountain. This must be FedEx. Look at that. It's just a mountain of packets. Or UPS probably. I mean, look how they're stacked. And trust me, I've seen trucks, UPS trucks or FedEx trucks at the mall doing a delivery, and they're just stuff all over the place. Good thing there's no breakables. Anyways, move on. Pretty cool. Snow And mounted. And here, looks like they're drowning. Traffic accident. Jumping. Gymnastics. Something. Here's some demolition, it looks like. Pinata. And then there's a couple of number cards as well that, again, same reason they were for another deck and not complete. So that's that. Oh, it's a bit of a long video. I apologize, but there's a lot to show you. These are printed by MPC. It's just a prototype deck. But it is a nice quality prototype deck. So I'm not going to worry about rating it because it is just a prototype. But I do like the artwork. I think it's a fun deck. A lot of effort went into it. A lot of great stuff. Very interesting. And I highly recommend. That's a good shuffling. See that shuffle? I am just not having a good day, I guess. Anyways, I do recommend checking it out. It's a fun deck. It's a good transformation deck. And I'm not sure who's producing them. Probably Legends. I don't remember. But that's who did this previous deck. Or is doing. If I recall correctly. But, I mean, the NPC, it's pretty nice quality. For what it is. So that is that. Pipmen playing cards. Goes live on Kickstarter this Tuesday, January the 12th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. That's what I got. See you next time. And don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think.